Hi, I saw Predator Badlands last weekend, and I got some thoughts on that movie. Number one, I loved Prey that came out in 2022, written and directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Loved it. It was a great reboot of the Predator franchise. Hell, I didn't even know that it was a Predator movie until I watched it on Hulu, and it was like, oh wow, this is actually a Predator movie. What the hell? And it was great. It was not only great, it was fantastic. I loved it. And then this year we got the Predator Killer of Killers animated movie on Hulu, and that was really good. You had three Predator stories in there. It was like an anthology movie of Vikings fighting the Predator, samurai fighting the Predator, a U.S. Air Force airmen fighting the Predator in World War II. And now, the third movie, which was being, developed at the same time, Killer of Killers, and this is the live action movie, Predator Badlands. And this one focuses on the protagonist, which is a predator named Deck. And I was like, okay, let's see if this is good. Is this going to be a situation that was like Terminator 2? Where the bad guy that was in the first movie, we're gonna switch that and make the hero. And I gotta say, saw this movie in IMAX. It's good. I'm not gonna say good. It's exceptional. Predator Badlands is the best Mandalorian episode that Lucasfilm wishes they would have made. I mean, it's dark. It's gritty. There's really good moments of characters, caring for one another, which again, I didn't think I would need that in a Predator movie, but it works. And, it does have a PG-13 rating, but it is extremely violent. You're just dealing with, a character that's cutting up and blowing up, alien creatures and robot android synthetics. So you're just getting like green and white blood, and that's about it. But it's not you're not seeing the Predator kill any humans. But again, he's fighting foes that are very dangerous, and that also want to kill him. And yeah, just everything about it is great. Like the science fiction of it all, is what I loved about it. And yeah, you get a predator that's on a quest to prove his worth. He's considered the runt of the clan, even by his own father. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but he is sent to a planet, a death planet called Genna, where he has to fight and kill this legendary beast, this legendary monster that's called simply the Callisk. And his father won't even go near this thing. That's how like crazy badass this monster is. And so Deck is sent to that planet, and from the outset, he's not terrified by his predicament. He actually, is very persistent, and he just starts killing everything and scaring the creatures that are on that planet. Like it doesn't matter if you strip him of some of his gear. He's still ferocious. And thing is, I liked at the beginning they kind of give him all the tech, all the weapons at the very beginning, uh, in a really amazing opening sequence, and then he loses that when he goes to the planet. There are elements of that I thought was really cool, and it reminded me of the video game series Metroid by Nintendo, Metroid and the Metroid Prime games, of like a character, starting out with everything, all the abilities, all the skills, all the weapons, and then you lose it, and then you got to get that stuff back or learn new stuff. And I liked that. I really liked that. I can definitely tell that Dan Trachtenberg is a gamer, because there was a lot of stuff like that was in there that definitely made it feel like, oh yeah, he's taking elements from games, not just Metroid, but even like Monster Hunter. I think he even said that in a couple interviews. And so Deck is able to like, you know, take out a lot of monsters with what he's got still. And I love the new weapons that you finally see in the Predator, like the plasma sword weapon. I love it. That was so cool on how he used it. in his fighting and everything. I loved it. And yeah, and then you have Elle Fanning, who plays an android from Wayland Yutani. And I like how they are just layering the Alien series into this and putting that universe into this. It's been done before. With Alien versus Predator, and they have, the creators of that those properties have said, yeah, they both universes take place at the exact same time. So yeah, there is kind of like stuff like that I really enjoy, and she's great. She's great. She has great moments of comedy. Uh, but the great thing about it is that they work well together. It's not just like her and she's doing all the work or he's doing all the work. No, they actually work well together. But at the same time, the predator is able to really be the predator, and they even revealed like the species, which is called the Yautja. Again, this is a thing that was part of the expanded universe that was in the comics, and I've talked to a lot of people, and they have said, what Dan Trachtenberg is using. He's using a lot of the old comics of the '90s for this, and that's great. That they're able to do that and really utilize the lore from those comic books and putting it into the movie, because we all knew, like, yeah, like fans of the Predator, that yeah, the Yautja was their name for the species. And so again, they have their own like dialect and language, and whenever they're talking, the Yautja, it's subtitled, which is great, because there are times when I'm watching Star Wars where I'm just like, can we not have the characters sound like they're talking English? Like, I don't want to have a character like talking like they're from New York. Like, please, like, let's move away from that. I love it when an alien species in a movie or a TV show is talking and it's subtitled. I love hearing that, the dialect. It's cool. I just love it. I don't need them talking English. It sounds so goofy and weird. And they don't do that. They make it seem really cool, and it just fits. And yeah, no, Elle Fanning is great, and Deck are great because they work well together. And the Predator is able to do Predator things. He's able to kill. He's able to do that without anyone, uh, blocking his stuff. He's able to like do that and still be ferocious and still be, that persistent character that just doesn't quit. Like he gets his ass beat a couple times, but he always comes back for another round. He never quits. He is, persistent. And that's what I love about that character, Deck. He's great, and you know, the movie also focuses on like found family. He meets up with Thea, Elle Fanning's character, and that's kind of like they begin to grow close together as a friendship. And then you have like this little alien critter called Bud, but and he's funny, and the predator gets a new companion out of that, and yeah, like everything you get like all the stuff from the Alien universe put into this movie, like a new upgraded power loader that's called the Super Power Loader, and yeah, and the influences that this movie takes into account are great. Dan Trachtenberg like puts in a lot of science fiction and action movies and puts them into this movie, and I got a couple vibes from like Mad Max. I got elements that I just mentioned about Metroid, about a character losing his abilities and then gaining new ones, or gaining his existing abilities back. I saw elements of Conan the Barbarian, like a space science fiction version of that. I saw elements of Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter from Mars books, those old school science fiction books. Uh, and I saw elements of even the Western, like Clint Eastwood Western movies. I saw elements of the Akira Kurosawa samurai movies, especially when you see predators fight each other, and it's almost like a fight between two or three samurai. it definitely has that vibe, and I just love that. He's able to mix those together and create like a hybrid action movie of all those elements of just some of my favorite movies and video games, and it just works well. And yeah, this franchise is just getting better and better as new installments come out since Prey and Killer of Killers, and now you have Predator Badlands. This movie is just, for me, one of the best action movies of the year. I put it alongside even the classic Predator movies like Predator 1 and Predator 2, which are my favorites. And yeah, this is without a doubt one of my favorite, movies that Dan Trachtenberg has made. He keeps getting even better and better after every movie. And he did 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I also enjoyed. It had great spooky moments. And yeah, I have to recommend this movie to everyone who loves science fiction and who are also Predator fans, because this is a movie that you do not want to miss out on. It's great. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of CGI for everything. I mean, the actor did wear a bodysuit uh, for playing Dick, but he also had to, there was motion capture for the facial stuff, and that comes through really nicely. It doesn't look fake. It doesn't look stupid. It doesn't look like a video game. It looks, incredibly real. And the stuff with like Weta Workshop with the props and creature designs, everything just looks, amazing. And yeah, all I have to say is everyone go check out Predator Badlands. It's an amazing movie. Highly recommend that one. And yeah, it's one of my favorites. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Have a good week, and I'll see you. Bye.